I want to welcome you again today to a question to ponder. And we're looking into the Word of God way back into the book of Exodus in the ministry of one of the Bible's greatest leaders, a man by the name of Moses. And the people he led was just about drove him crazy. But listen here in Exodus chapter 7, which will lead us to a question we need to ponder even today. Exodus chapter 17 and verse 1. Let me read this. The whole Israelite community set out from the desert of Sin, traveling from place to place as the Lord commanded. They camped at Rephidim, but there was no water, for the people were thirsty and wanted a drink. They quarreled with Moses. They said, "Give us water to drink." Moses replied, "Why do you quarrel with me? Why do you put the Lord to the test?" But the people were thirsty for water there, and they grumbled against Moses. They said, "Why did you bring us up out of Egypt, to make us and our children and our livestock die of thirst?" Moses cried out to the Lord, "What am I to do with these people? They are almost ready to stone me." The Lord answered Moses, "Walk on ahead of the people. Take with you some of the elders. Take the staff in your hand, which you struck the Nile, and go, and I will stand there before you by the rock at Horeb. Strike the rock, and water will come out for the people to have a drink." So Moses did this in the sight of the elders of Israel, and he called the place Meribah, because the Israelites quarreled, because they tested the Lord, saying, here it is the Lord among us or not? Is the Lord among us or not? In times of stress, disappointment, crisis, we are sometimes inclined to doubt our faith. Even if God has answered incredible prayers in the past, He's brought us through sickness, or He's brought us through financial challenges in days gone by. But in this present moment of crisis, sometimes people fall apart, and they ask the question that the Israelites asked so long ago, well, is the Lord among us or not? Now, it's interesting. This was a test in their lives that was being repeated. Those first three verses talk about this. In the early stages of their journey in the wilderness, they journeyed 40 years in the wilderness because of lack of faith. They had complained that they wanted water. And now they're getting near the end of that journey, and they're complaining again. God had provided the first time, but they're doubting if God can provide for them yet again. Isn't it interesting that sometimes stress and pressure bring the worst out in people? People who may have been quite civil and kind, people of faith, but in a moment of unexpected crisis, they default to who they used to be before they ever put their faith in God. Is that you? Do you do that? That as soon as things don't start going your way, you throw up your hands and say, well, maybe God is not real. God is real, but there's a test of faith that you need to pass, just like the children of Israel. Starting at verses 4 through 7, we read about God as an unfailing resource. Moses is overwhelmed now. These people are complaining, grumbling. They've even threatened to take his life, because when people are under stress, sometimes they make bad decisions, or they say that they will. So Moses does the first thing that any leader should do. He cries out to God, "God, what am I to do with these people?" And God tells him, you take just some of the elders, some of the leaders, and take that staff which is a symbol of God's power, which he had struck the Red Sea and it opened up before them. He said, you take that staff, walk ahead of the people, and I'm going to lead you to a rock at Horeb. When you get to that rock, with the elders watching you, strike the rock in faith. Water will come out, and I will refresh the people. Moses obeys the Lord, and that's exactly what happens. Something good always happens when you seek God's guidance and then do what he tells you to do. They ask this question, our question to ponder, is the Lord among us or not? Today, at my hearing, you may be going through a stressful time. Maybe physical illness. Maybe somebody you know and love has been smitten with this coronavirus. And it's a difficult thing. Here in North Carolina, they're trying to get it down when they do testing to 5%. Right now, it's at 7%. So that means 93% of people tested don't have it. 93% are fine. The other 7% may have it and may have a variety of symptoms, but 99% inevitably will recover. So we need to keep this in focus, but don't panic. You may be going through a financial difficulty, a relational conflict. Things may not be working out as you had hoped, and you're doubting God. Is the Lord among us or not? Is your lament. Here's the answer to your question. Jesus Christ said, I will never leave you or forsake you. Lo, I'm with you always, even to the end of the earth. You're not alone today, my friends. Jesus is with you. God is among you. And if you would stop and pray and listen, He'll show you what to do. God bless you. Have a great day.